How well you deal with stress today may have something to do with what happened to you as a baby. At least that's what new research is suggesting. Health reporter Alicia Booth is here now with more on this.
Well, you know, the more loving, the better. This study shows you shouldn't listen to people who say you're spoiling your babies. Those lucky babies may be thanking you after they're grown up.
Go ahead, just lay it on and lay it on thick. That's what researchers say you should do if you want your child to grow up with better coping skills.
They looked at 8-month-old babies and moms, and they had them doing a task, and the psychologists were rating the mother's interaction with the 8-month-olds during that time.
Carolyn Landis is a licensed clinical psychologist with Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital, who says the Duke study makes perfect sense.
Just like when you think about the children that are in orphanages, for example, that don't have that affection, and then later on they have attachment disorders and they have difficulties, it's the same thing, only in the reverse.
The study looked at about 500 infants and then followed up with them in their 30s. Those whose mothers had been observed to be very affectionate grew into happy, well-adjusted adults, less likely to be anxious.
So it's really important, those early experiences, that your needs are being met, that you're being cared for, you're being loved and held, is important for later on when stressful things happen in your life.
Dr. Landis helps parents get their children to sleep through the night and is careful to point out that the affection should be heaped on during the day, not during sleeping hours. But the take-home message of this study for parents is simple.
I think it's just important to really stress to people that it is important to pay attention to your infant's needs. It's important to be very affectionate, and don't listen to people when they say don't spoil your baby.
It's fun just looking at babies, isn't it? Well, this research focused solely on moms, but it stands to reason that it would apply to fathers and grandparents as well. You can read more in the Medical Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health, and I have a link to it on Newsnet 5.
Cutest babies ever. I was going to say they should all be on TV, but of course they were. Really great. And amazing how what happens to you when you're so young affects how you look at the world.
Yeah, and it's not something that we can remember, obviously, because they looked at 8-month-olds, but all the more reason.
All right. Thanks, Alicia.